We are live. All right, let's do it. Trying a new camera setup on this one. If you didn't know, you can actually use your camera as a webcam. Best webcam ever is literally right in front of your face, which is pretty cool. So, um, I'm actually going to show a bunch of people how to do that because it is pretty neat. I do struggle with getting the proper, I guess, kind of like footage. But what I have been doing is researching a lot, and I figured out that you can actually use your camera as a webcam, which is pretty awesome. So we'll give it an extra 1 or 2 minutes just to make sure everyone got on. I just posted the link. I'll actually jump into our other channel. And let's post in here too. We'll give it one more second. Got a couple people jumping in. Cool. Let's send that in. Perfect. All right. I wonder because this is on my desk, it's a little bit bouncy. A little bit bouncy, but not too bad. Let me know what you think about the quality, if you can hear me okay. Like I said, I'm messing with a new setup. I want to make sure that the quality is really good, which will be perfect. Oh, thank you, David. I appreciate that. Let's give it one more minute. I just had someone reach out and say, give me a minute. So they're going to jump on as well. I love it. Feel free to ask questions. Seriously, this is here for fun. We're here to get motivated. I'm going to post this right here too. All right, cool. All right, excellent. All right, fun stuff. Love doing this and figuring it out. And Doris, how are you? All right, we got 10 people on. This stuff is recorded as well, so make sure that you are able to access it later. Make sure to subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. I got to say all that YouTube stuff. So if you saw, hello, Alicia. If you saw the little, what do you call it, the thumbnail on the image when you actually went and clicked on it, you'd actually see that I named it Monday Motivation Surviving Hell Week. And I do that because it's funny. But in all seriousness, once we get to this point of the year, it really starts to slow down. And from my perspective, from what I've seen over the years, it's easy to get into this little funk of saying, okay, I'm going to check out. It's time to kind of just go on and, either cruise through the rest of the year and wait for New Year, or kind of just take a back seat and not do too much. That's what I did my first few years. And what I did not realize is that during breaks and during holidays, People want to look at homes. People want to buy homes. I sell multiple homes every December consistently. I do it constantly. Even now, I've got people looking, ready to go. So don't think that just because we're really getting into that holiday week, uh, the whole time between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I do believe gets a little bit slower. You have a lot of people that are looking, coming into town. Christmas week and New Year week, you're going to have a lot of people in town that probably want to look at real estate. They're probably going to want to bring family. And what I find is that some people who have been looking for a while and maybe haven't made a decision, once they get family in and they start discussing and they go tour some homes, it kind of pushes them to that next level. Maybe they're hearing some confidence from the family that they typically wouldn't, or they're kind of just like pushing them, saying, "Hey, you need to do this," or realizing that their space is not sufficient enough to have family come in. That happens a lot. People are like, "Oh, we need an extra bedroom, an office, a formal dining room, and all that stuff." So you have a captive audience in this time, and make sure that you're actually going to cultivate and reach out to these people. It's a perfect opportunity to reach out to old clients and new clients. You have an excuse. Happy holidays. Wonderful. If you have not sent out holiday cards to past clients, even prospects, you can do that as well. Or maybe someone you've been speaking to a while, definitely you're going to want to do that as well. So make sure that you do that. So we have a number of different points to talk about in regard to this kind of like Monday kickstart. And Maggie's feeling a little under the weather today. Unfortunately, she's not on with me, as you notice. Maggie, please get better. But she really compiled a lot of this. And this is something that she and I talk about a lot because it is hard to get motivated on Mondays in general. Also, it is very hard to get motivated around the holidays, like we were just talking about. How do you wake up and jump to it and just get ready and get going? Well, there's a number of different things that you can do. And then I believe that if you are, oh, David, great point. Rates have dropped a bit, and they're saying that they may drop a little bit more before the end of the year. Keep an eye on that. Because if it really happens and people start going crazy, it can get wild right before New Year. So keep an eye on it. Of course, we'll post stuff and let you know. But back to the motivation, just jumping on this call and listening to me motivate you is not going to get you where you need to be. Uh, I want to provide those tools for you so that you're able to effectively motivate yourself to get to that point. This does serve a purpose where if you do need to hear someone telling you to get your shit together, that's totally fine. But I want you to utilize these items and these practices because they work. And it is something that all of us use to kind of put all this stuff together. So simple. Wake up Monday, you're not feeling it, whatever. You grab your coffee, you're kind of just sitting there. Maybe you're going to watch the news. Instead of turning on the TV or jumping on your phone, go ahead and set some goals for the week. Uh, you want to outline those specific goals and make them achievable. Um, whether it's completing a certain amount of tasks, um, maybe you've got a really large project. If you watch my story last week, I said, hey, by noon, knock out a big project. It's going to make you feel great. Um, if you have larger tasks or goals, break those down into smaller ones so that they feel more manageable. Create a list that you can check off and then, trash when you're done. That always feels really good as well. And completing tasks give you that motivation. So if you're really struggling, start out with something simple. If you want to start calling people and you're just like not feeling it, but you really want to, call somebody else. Call someone you can actually talk to. Call a family member or a friend and kind of get those juices flowing. If not, you can just jump right in and start talking. Um, Next point, it's very easy to focus on negative. I almost didn't put holiday hell week because Maggie's always telling me to be positive, which I try to be and I am, but really focusing on the positive. What are you going to do great this week? Uh, you can reflect on positive aspects of your life in general. Uh, what's going right? What do you love about your life? What do you are you did you have a goal to do something and you are completing it and you're doing it? So really maintain that positive thinking. I think when you're writing down your goals for the week, that's a really good way to focus on the positive. Don't put something on your list that you know is probably not attainable that week, um, because it's just going to demotivate you. If you're really struggling, make it simple tasks that you can knock out. You got to drop the dry cleaning off. You got to do this. You got to take the trash out. You got to do this. You got to call however many people before noon. Do those because those are achievable. So you're focusing on the positive. Now you want to visualize that success. Visualize your success. Sometimes in my mind, I'm like visualizing myself depositing checks because that's one of the best things in the world is being able to deposit checks. You're getting paid for your hard work. So I love doing that. Take a few moments to visualize yourself successfully completing your tasks or achieving your goals, and that'll really boost your confidence and enable you to push on and really get to that next level of becoming really efficient and effective. You're not a machine. We know that. These are just tools to help you stay positive and motivated. And remember this, and we say this all the time, if you're not feeling it, don't work that day. If you're going to burn through leads and you're not going to have good conversations, take some time for yourself. It's okay. If I message you and say, "Hey, why haven't you done all your follow-up?" and you're like, "Hey, listen, I took a me day, I went for a hike, hung out with whoever." I'm going to say, "Perfect. Perfect. Let's talk in a few days. Go and enjoy." So we've got setting your goals, focus on the positive, visualizing that success of completing those goals. And now you have to reward yourself. Make sure that you plan a reward for yourself. Give yourself something to look forward to at the end of the week, whether it's a little treat, a break, a special activity. Uh, Maybe you've wanted to buy something and you've been holding off. Maybe it's a little bit more expensive, something like that. Uh, Make sure that you set some kind of reward because if you're going to motivate yourself to push through and get to that point of being successful, you have to train yourself that that's a good thing and you need to reward yourself. I know people that reward themselves with a massage. Um, I know people who like eat really well throughout the week, and if they do something really big and good, they eat a really bad meal like Big Mac and fries and or a bunch of pizza, stuff like that. So make your reward realistically. Make it something that you really want to do, uh, and that will actually motivate you to complete your tasks. And don't do something where it's like, I want to have ice cream on Friday when you were going to have ice cream anyway. Come on, like make it a real reward. I'm going to start doing that. I already mentioned this, but I wanted to make sure that it was in here again. Start with small wins. It's not about hitting a bunch of home runs. Hitting singles works great. Score the same amount of runs. I know baseball analogies. If you're not into baseball, I apologize. But when you're laying out your goals, make sure you put stuff that's really easily attainable for the first couple of things. Because first thing in the morning, if you jump in and you attack something and knock it out, you're going to feel great. It's going to set the tone. It's going to be very positive for you. You're going to have that positive tone. You're going to feel like you accomplished something. I know it may sound dumb where you're like, okay, what's my goal? I want to make sure that I have my coffee and I get dressed before 10 a.m. That's a goal. It's a realistic goal. Are you going to be able to hit it? I mean, it depends who you are, but that is an easily attainable goal. If you set your goal, say it's 8 a.m., you woke up and all that, and you're like, all right, by 10 a.m., I want to have gone on a walk, come back, have my coffee, and already made 3 calls. That's attainable if you can, get going. So, these are things that you really want to set the tone. If you want to set goals that are going to push you, say it's like you have the goals of working out or you want to go on a walk, make that one of your goals. Go on that walk. When you come back, you'll feel so much better. Creating a very positive workspace. So important, your environment. We're always talking about environment, who you surround yourself with, what you surround yourself with. This cannot be any more important. You want to make sure that you organize and you personalize your workspace because you want to make it more enjoyable. If you're going to spend time there, you want to make sure that you do feel comfortable and you feel motivated. A clean and inviting environment will really positively impact your mood and motivation. Put up posters, put up pictures, pictures of family, things you want to do, goals. Put up your vision board, all that stuff. These are all fantastic points. One of my favorites, listen to uplifting music or podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I like them a lot. I try to keep it very light in the morning, um, unless it's like real estate based and all that, which is totally fine. I do not like listening to news in the morning. That's not the first thing you want to hear. Um, some good stuff that I like listening to in the morning, stuff by like Gary V or any of those motivational guys. It's just like really uplifting. Or just like listen to some really good music. Like mid 2000s alternative. That's some consistently positive music. So do that. Um especially when you're doing like really boring tasks that you just have to do. Put on some music, groove to it, do a little dance. There's nothing wrong with it. Do a dance break. Love dance breaks. This is probably one of my favorites because it always makes me feel better, especially if I'm in a funk, is connecting with others. A simple idea, but connect with others. Reach out to a colleague, a friend, family members. Those positive social interactions will really provide a lot of support and encouragement. So make sure that you're doing that. I know I mentioned it before where it's like if you're really not feeling it and you need to do follow-up calls and all that, but you just don't want to get on the phone, call someone who's really good at talking, whether it's your mother or father or cousin or brother or friend, someone who you're going to have to talk to a lot. It's going to get you going. Um, you won't even realize it until you start actively doing it or having like if there was something you needed to talk to somebody about, doesn't have to be like a huge deal, but something important. Make sure that You reach out to them and do that before your calls. It's just going to get you in that mood and get you in that grind. Um, Taking breaks, so super important. I read this really awesome quote from this guy. I can't remember who it is. I'm going to look for it. Um, it's this strategy that a lot of people use in regard to completing tasks. But what they do is they will set a timer for 45 minutes and they will complete everything they can within that time frame for that task, even if they don't complete it. What that does is it pushes you to focus your time within that specific framework so that you will be more efficient. But then also taking that break, you get up, take a break for 10 or 15 minutes. It'll clear your mind and you can go on to a different task for another 45 minutes doing the same thing over, or you can go back to that same task. But taking that break really could push you to develop another idea that you are missing, or can give you an opportunity to make a call to somebody else and try to see if they have any good ideas, you want to bounce it off. So make sure you take those breaks and get up. Don't just sit there and scroll on Instagram or whatever. Get up, take a lap around the office, take a lap around your house, go outside for a minute. Uh, that'll really help. It'll be super helpful. Um, Remember why you're doing this. Um, I'm gonna sound super motivational, but what is your why? Why are you doing this? Why are you sitting at that desk? Why are you calling all these people and trying to convert them? What's your why? Why are you doing it? Um, One of mine is, my kids and wife. I want a certain lifestyle and I have people to take care of, and that's my purpose. And I remind myself constantly of that. That's why I have photos of my family all over and um, my screensaver and all that stuff. That motivates me. That pushes me. Looking at them and realizing that this is what I'm here for. This is what I'm doing. Uh, so I remember that purpose. Remind yourself of like the bigger picture and the reasons behind why you're working. Uh, you're not doing this for your health. You're doing it to make money. You're doing it to support yourself. You're doing it to advance your career. So make sure that you remember that purpose. And I mean, even write it down. I've seen people write down on their wall or sticky notes. Um, write the name down of the person you're doing it for. Write your own name down, knowing that you're doing it for yourself. And don't forget to do it for yourself. You're number one. Celebrate your progress. I know we talked about rewards. Rewards are great. Rewards are different than celebrating effort and progress. Say you didn't complete all your tasks, but you're like, you know what? I didn't complete all of those, but I did so much this week that I just feel good about it. Celebrate that. Um, when you recognize your achievements like that, it can really boost your confidence and your motivation. So make sure that you really are celebrating that. Uh, I have a goal to write down 5 addresses every morning. Right when I get to the office, I look at the expired listings and I try to write 5 of those down. A lot of times I don't get to 5. I write 2 or 3 because at some point someone calls me and I get busy and I forget. Um, but that's, even when I put 1 or 2 down, I look back at it, write out that card that I'm going to send out. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's good. I knocked out 2. That's perfect. Let's do it next time. And finally, holiday hell week. Embrace the holiday spirit. Embrace it. Doesn't matter what you celebrate, if you celebrate, if you don't celebrate, but be aware of people around you. People are going to be in the holiday spirit. If you're not in the holiday spirit and you're grumpy, people probably are not going to want to work with you or hang out with you. That's how the world works. So if you're a Grinch and you're calling people and you're Grinchy, they're not going to want to hear it, especially right now. People feel very giving right now. And um, you want to make sure that you're showing them that you're aware of people's feelings and what's going on with the holidays. Holidays are tough. They can be really tough for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. Uh, losing family members around that time. Maybe it's your first time and all that. Not to get down, but it's important. It's important to reflect during this time. If you're unhappy with things, if you're unhappy with the way work's going, your career, your life, you know, this is a time to reach out to people and seek help and to better yourself. Because in the end, you've got yourself. That's what it is. Um, we're always here to support you and to make sure you feel supported, taken care of. So do not hesitate to reach out to any of us. We're here for you. Um, and also make sure that you take some time off, like really take some time off and enjoy. Spend time with your family. Be intentional about the time that you take. If you've just been grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding, which a lot of us do, especially since spring, really, that's kind of like March, kind of haven't stopped. Take some time. It's okay to take a week. Keep checking your email, but take that time off. I'm going to Florida on Friday and I'm going for 2 weeks and I'm going to check out because uh, I've been going. I've been and going and going and going. And if you don't take a minute to stop and reflect and really are taking care of yourself, make sure that you are reaching out to others, make sure that you're reaching out to others on behalf of yourself and on behalf of them. If you know someone's struggling, or if you know this is going to be a tough holiday time because they're not going to have a family member for the first time, reach out. It's okay. You never know what effect that can have on someone's life. And don't second guess it. If you're like, I should call that person. It's been a while. I know this is going to be a tough holiday season for them. Call them. They're going to appreciate it. Don't be afraid to talk about tough things or mention certain things that um, maybe you typically wouldn't mention. And I'm getting at, kind of like loss of family members and stuff like that, because that is always tough during the holiday season. So recognize that and make sure you're there for people, because this is, really the season of giving um, and being together. Uh, and we really push that in Method. Everyone knows that. Anyone who's been with Method for a while uh, knows that we really do care about everyone and all of us. So make sure you're reaching out to people. Um, if you don't have anywhere to go on Christmas, or people, or people in need, stuff like that, let us know. Reach out. We're not going to hate on anybody who for saying anything or direct messaging and looking for help, or if people need help, that's what it's all about. So, make sure you take these steps to motivate yourself, uh, but also utilize these steps to motivate others. Because if you motivate others, you make people feel good, you're going to feel good. And that's what it's all about. So Love you all. This is going to be the last Monday motivation for this year because, like I said, we're going to Florida. I'm going to be on the beach, cocktail in hand, without my phone for the most part. I'll have my phone a little bit. So don't reach out. Joking. Definitely reach out. I expect to hear from everybody. For our method team members, do not forget to send me funds for the admin teams. And then we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. It's going to be sales meeting. Have a wonderful day. Have an incredible, motivated Monday. Please reach out if you need anything, if you want anything. We're here for you. We love you. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Can't forget Hanukkah. It's the middle of Hanukkah. And Happy New Year. Yes, we're going to close out this year very strong. David, very strong. Especially because down in Miami, this is the high season now. This is when it's busy. We all need to go to Miami now because that's when the business picks up. So you got to make sure you can jump down there and keep the business going. Let's do it. I'm ready to get down there and go have some fun. So please reach out to us if anyone's going to Miami. Make sure to reach out to David. Let him know you're going to go, and he'll take you to the Standard for lunch. On him, of course. But thank you for tuning in. I love it. Love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of the year. And you stay classy, Atlanta and Charlotte and Orlando and Miami and Birmingham. Love you guys.